Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear students. Warmly welcome to the SLIM DDMP Data Driven Marketing Professional webinar. The Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing has been the apex body for Sri Lankan marketers since back in 1970s. Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, also known as SLIM, was incorporated by an Act of Parliament in 1980s. So now, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, SLIM recognized as a national body for marketing and has the authority to edify the marketing profession in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing conducted major events, award ceremonies on a national scale under the international recognitions. I'm going to take you through very simple examples: Slim People's Awards, National Sales Awards, Digis, and etc. So why do you need to select or choose Slim DDMP program? Want to stay ahead of the curve in marketing? The data-driven marketing professional program, which is designed to provide a knowledge on essential data-driven marketing concepts, provide skills to evaluate and identify the best practices and the emerging concepts in digital data-driven marketing. So data-driven marketing professional, which is ideal for marketing professionals who are inspired to have a better understanding of their customers and their behavior to improve decision making. Professionals at the decision making levels who need to equip themselves with the data-driven tactics. Students and inspiring marketing professionals with fundamental knowledge in marketing and digital marketing and who wish to upgrade their career with the competencies and as a value addition for their career. Dear students, Gentleman is the assistant manager of Slim Business School, Pitulwatta. Very thank you. Thank you for being here with us and warmly welcome Mr. Malinda Pereira to the welcome speech.
Thank you, Dasun. Hope I am audible.
Yes, Malinda.
Thank you, Dasun. Right. So, good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome each uh, of you, the webinar and inauguration day of the Data-Driven Marketing Professional Program. Today marks the beginning of a journey that you equipped you with a skill and knowledge to excel in the world of data-driven marketing. To our participants, congratulations on taking this important step to enhance your career. The skills you will develop here won't just boost your career, they will empower you to make positive impact in your organization and community you serve. We are also honored to have with us a very special guest speaker, Mr. Shalika Alhakon, Head of Customer Marketing and Retail Innovation at Unilever. And also, I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Daminda Idrisinghe, a well-experienced lecturer at SLIM, who has deep knowledge and passion for teaching, will enrich your learning experience. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our DGM, Ms. Mary Fonseca, and her team, as well as our marketing team for their hard work. In addition to that, a special thank goes to the Slim Business School teams, Colombo, Mathara, and Candy, for make this moment real. As I begin this program, I encourage you to make of it most of it. Engage actively in your classes, ask questions, and collaborate with your peers. The connection you build here will be invaluable as you advance in your career. So, in conclusion, we are thrilled to have you here today. Your presence reflects a commitment to excellence and a readiness and embrace the future of marketing. On behalf of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, I wish you every success on this exciting journey ahead. So thank you very much. Over to you, Dasu.
Thank you, Mr. Malinda Pereira, for that adding value to the data-driven marketing professional webinar and the inauguration and for your valuable time given for this webinar. So once again, Thank you, Mr. Maninder Pereira. Mr. Shalika Alhapon is the head of customer marketing, retail innovations, brand marketing, route to market digitization, and data driven selling at Unilever Sri Lanka. It's good to see you here, sir, and warmly welcome Mr. Shalika Alhapon for the guest speaker's speech.
All right, thank you, and good evening, everyone. Hope you all are doing great today. It's a weekend and getting ready for your activities tomorrow. I think it's going to be another hectic week, month end for most of us. Right, hope so I will share some of my experience today, and also you will gain something because it's the inaugurations of the course, and you will be getting into more detailed, deeper knowledge about data-driven marketing, right? So I think I'm planning to share some insights, and also in future we'll see how best I can contribute to your education journey, right? Okay, so let me share my presentation. I think I have the sharing option given to me. Let me see, is it enabled? How about now? Can you all see?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think something when give me a minute. I will reshare this. Share my screen. All right. Hope you all can see it now. Can someone say
Yes, sir.
yes?
Yes, yes,
All
sir.
right. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So the word that I'm going to use the most today is going to be data, because it's data-driven marketing, and I can't speak without using the word data, right? In a program data-driven marketing. So we'll use more more of that during this webinar. Right. Okay. So since it is a bit of a online thing, we will not be able to interact much, however, if you have any question, anything that you want to clarify, you can definitely put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand, so I will give you the opportunity to ask, right? You can stop me at any time for you to clarify anything, right? So it is going to be about, good 30 to 40 minutes session that I'm going to do with you all. So I will touch upon areas where some practical things in data-driven marketing, and also some of the theoretical things. And we'll share some examples, especially from the global arena. So I can share some of things in local arena as well. Companies which have done data-driven marketing successfully, right? To start it off, we should try to understand the top line reasons for DDM, right? Why this has been so popular to nowadays, and what are the main reasons for a DDM to evolve and come to a certain level. If you ask me, DDM a skill that you should have it in the future, I would say no. It is a skill that you should have today, right? Because the transformations of marketing has happened already, and also consumers shifting or changing very fast, and their behaviors are changing every day, every second, every minute. So that you have to up your game to stay ahead the curve, right? So this skill is already now is a required skill. So for you to become a successful marketer in your area of work, you should have this skill, right? Okay, so the the key reason for this to evolve to this level is the rise of big data, right? I think some of you would have heard about big data, in many forums, they talk about big data. What is this big data? Big data is like, the data informations that we generate on daily, hourly basis, right? This is mainly due to the activities that consumers used to do online and use of digital technology, and also the interactive media that we have, right? And social media involvement, right? So all those things have today impacted positively to this big data, and we have plethora of data with us today, and some of the people are struggling even to analyze data when you have big data, right? However, this is one big reasons why DDM has come to the forefront when we talk about marketing today. The increasing need for measurable results, right? So this is very important. Today we talk about measurable result. It's not just the result, right? You have a sales increase, right, from X to Y, right? So it's a result, but can you measure it due to what are the reasons why you have recorded the sales like that, right? Is it because of your advertisement? Is it because of your promotional activities? Is it because of your competitors not there? Or is it because you're seeing a consumer surge in demand all of a sudden, right? So you should know these informations, right? It has to be measurable, right? The investment that you are making today, investment you are making now should give you the result, right? So if you take marketers today, like are in a tremendous pressure to deliver the measurable result, right? Deliver the return on investment, right? It's not just put an advert on social media or maybe in traditional media. It's not like that. Like so what is the result that you are generating is paramount important, right? So DDM will definitely give you that option. So you should be able to measure your result when you are running a DDM, right? Campaign. It will definitely help you to get instant, results in instant, monitoring ability will be there in DDM, right? This is in depth you will learn during this course for sure. And shifting consumer expectations, right? um, Today consumers are changing very fast, right? When we do our traditional marketing, like we take trends into considerations, right? But those trends we take into considerations, take in historical data, take in maybe about good 2 3 years data, or you do a primary research and I understand the consumer. However, based on that you maybe craft in your strategy campaign or something that you want to launch, right, to attract consumers, right? The moment you go and launch your activity, that activity would have already been uh, you know become obsolete, not relevant to consumers, right? Because they are changing very fast, right? The the uh, if you take normal goods like the consumer goods, like today the changes are happening very fast, right? However, high involvement product, you still have some sort of the loyalty and sort of brand, rather like brands are a bit relevant to high involvement products. But when it comes to low involvement products, consumers are thinking about the sort of instant gratifications and changing very fast. You need informations quickly, like these things have already impacted changing consumer behaviors largely. Then the other one is technological advancement, right? We know the technology today, like so even Microsoft team, like we all connected to today virtually, like it's so easy, right? Before COVID, like so this was there, but we did not use that much, right? AI and also machine learning, right? these technologies, the algorithm that you can develop through these technologies will help you understand, like, very quickly your consumer behaviors, right? And so it can give you instantly, like, the current trends in the world market, current trends in certain segments in consumer markets, right? So anything that you want, you can just go ask AI. It will give you, like, if you excuse, can someone go on mute? Like, so, right, okay. Um, so what I was talking about technology advancement, if you take especially machine learning technology, right, and also data warehouses today you have, and some of the technology, some of the um, analytical softwares, right? Uh, Today, give you uh, insights about your consumers, within seconds, right? Instantly, you will get those informations, right? The need for differentiation, right? For you to be ahead of the game, like, you have to today differentiate your brand. It's so difficult today to differentiate the product, because product offering can be replicated instantly, replicated, even your marketing message can be replicated, right? There is no differentiation as such, like, when you take certain brands, right? And brands are becoming less relevant to consumers today, right? If you take, like, last 2 to 3 years in Sri Lanka, you would have experienced, like, certain big brands, uh, became so irrelevant, right? The reason for that is, like, changes in consumer environment, and technological advancement, and also digital media evolvement that help consumers also to be more knowledgeable about products, brands, right? So therefore, you need to do differentiation, right? You every time, it is not like, you differentiate today, tomorrow also you have to do the same thing for you to gain attention from consumers. The evolution of digital marketing, which is, like, about social media marketing, so on and so forth, like, that had also accelerated the concept DDM, right? And then the real-time personalization, right? So during our marketing sessions, especially, traditional marketing session, like, so we were talking about standardization, right? And so-called theories, like, Ford theory, like, he was talking about the product, his car, if it is good, as long as it is black, like, it can sell. But today it's not like that. You have to personalize your offering, right? So consumers are not ready to buy things which is, like, which is for everyone, right? So they think, like, what they want is, like, the offering is for me, right? If the offering is for me, like, then they will consider. So things are changing very fast, and consumers are thinking about real-time personalization, right? Maybe, like, with your content, with your messaging, with your product, right? So things are becoming more now personalized for consumers. Yeah, so these are some of the top line reasons for DDM. Like, there are more reasons. However, this is why, like, Slim has also come up with a program, DDM, because it has already evolved in other markets. Like, so that spend on traditional media has come down drastically. Like, some of the market, they spend only 20-30% on traditional media, right? Their sole focus has already been given to DDM, right? So you could see, like, even in Sri Lanka, for certain categories, certain companies, they have already moved to DDM, and they have cut down their traditional media budget. to get the maximum and serve their consumers better than competitor and gain a competitive advantage, right? Yeah. Right. Okay. So, just to talk about the challenges that traditional marketing is facing today, right? So, as I explained earlier, difficulty in measuring ROI, right? Probably for you to measure ROI, you will have to wait maybe 1 or 2 months until you get results, right? If it is like in a fast moving consumer good industry, like you will have to wait a good 2 to 3 months till you get information from a market research agency, right? So as in certain other industries also they'll have to wait, right? So which is a challenge, right? Today the demand is like you should know your return instantly, right? Instantly, now itself I should know, right? I should know, like, how many consumers are currently consuming my product, right? How many, leads have already been created, generated, that, like, so that I should know now, right? Where I should get all these information. All this information should be available on your mobile phone. So that is the demand. So traditional media, traditional marketing will not have those kind of advancement. So there's a challenge for traditional marketing. Limited targeting and personalization. So we know the fundamental of marketing, like you have to divide your target audience into many segments, right? And then select segments which are profitable for you, right? But in traditional marketing, like there are certain segments you just ignore, like you can't do it, right? You're offering, you cannot offer for many different segments, right? But so you are thinking, okay, whatever the offering that you are going to give to your consumers, they will accept as it is, right? In traditional marketing. However, today, as I explained, like people are thinking about personalization, right? So they don't want the same thing every time. So how you are going to differentiate, right? Personalize, which is a challenge in traditional marketing. High costs and limited flexibility. Like in traditional marketing, take a TV advertisement, right? So once it is produced, and so you send it to TV stations, for airing. Yeah. So you schedule your spots, and so after that they will do that. So for you to even stop your commercials, there is a process. It's very difficult for you to stop also airing, right? But if consumers have changed, when you are doing the campaign, uh, do you have that flexibility in traditional marketing? Yeah, question mark, right? But today, you need that flexibility, and you have to change things fast. And uh, whilst you are running the campaign, your marketing campaign, you should be able to change things. That flexibility has to be there, and which is a challenge today the traditional marketing is facing, right? And declining reach and engagement, right? Traditional marketing, as I told you, like the media, the reach. If you take in Sri Lanka, the media TV reach was about 70-80%, right? About few years ago. Now it has come down, right? People are not watching televisions as much as that they used to be, and probably they've moved to certain other media. Not only that, the engagement, right? Earlier, when you put an advertisements on TV, you are anyway forced to watch it, right? Because so you don't have much options, right? But today, like you just skip it, avoid it, right? So therefore, the reach and engagement is also thinning in traditional media. So then there is a question, like the investment that you are making, it's a high cost, right, in traditional media. So there is always a question mark whether you want to invest that much money on traditional marketing. Then competition from digital marketing. yes, on contrary to that, like, what you are thinking about digital marketing, and so more flexibility is there, the acceptance is high, so therefore that is a competition to traditional marketing. And then keeping that up with technological advancement, which is also a challenge for traditional marketing, right? So even if you take televisions or print media, right? Take print media, for example, like, number of if you take like the main print media in Sri Lanka, the circulations has come down drastically. Like, I think Lankadeep, the circulation has come down drastically, and they are also thinking about, they have already moved to a digital platform. The reason is like, the decline in reach, and you have to quickly adapt, adjust to the new advanced technologies when you are doing traditional marketing. So these are some of the challenges that the traditional marketing faces. Like, when you have these much of challenges, right? If you still believe in your traditional marketing, traditional media, I would say it's not a sensible thing, right? So you have to think about, like, how you are going to get maximum return from your marketing budget, marketing investment. So you have to think about, like, the other media, how effectively you can use informations, data, insights to target precisely uh, your consumers, target groups, and give that offer it, right? Thereby, gain the maximum return on your investment. Yeah, right. Okay. So this whole thing, like, evolvement of DDM, so advancement of technology and the changes in consumer behaviors have resulted in mass customization, right? So things are moving towards mass customizations from mass standardizations, right? If you go to certain, there are certain websites or certain companies, right? Today, if you go give your requirement, they will do the product as per your requirement and sell it, right? There is no brand involvement there, right? Especially on the category, if you take cosmetic category, like, you go give your the problem to the particular organization or to particular online company, so they will customize their offering to you, right? So that is the level of customization people are expecting today. Yeah. So you will not be able to, differentiate, or you will not be able to gain much when you have a standardized products, standardized offerings. Like, when I'm talking about offering, it includes, like, your message, your call to action, your, product deliveries, so on and so forth, right? All those things you need to change and now think about mass customization, which is possibility now with data driven marketing. Yeah. So you may not be able to probably change your product, right? If it is a consumer good, however, you can change your messaging, right? Your content, right? Your call to action. You can make it bit personalized, right? To the particular target audience, right? So therefore, think about those things when you are doing it, when you are doing your DDM, and also when you are doing your marketing activities. Yeah. Right. However, so for you to do all those things, right, in your organization and in even in your mind, you have to change a bit, right? You need to have a bit of a culture, right? Even though we talk about DTM, you will go through the course and you will learn a lot of things. But in your organization, when it comes to applying certain things, it is going to be a challenge for you, right? Probably, like, due to lack of data, one. But most of the organizations, they do have data. However, what is not there is the data culture, right? So you have to establish that data culture in your organization. For you to establish, first you have to believe data. Most of Sri Lankan companies, they don't believe data, right? So they always go with their experience, their gut feeling, right? Which is completely a wrong thing, right? So if you gut feelings and experience are irrelevant again, right? So it doesn't matter like you have 20 years of experience in marketing, 10 years of experience in marketing, handling consumer research. It's irrelevant today, right? What is relevant is like instantly whether you can transform a data set to an insight, right? That is what is relevant, right? So for you to build that relevance in your organization, you have to have a data culture, right? You will not be able to do data driven marketing without a data culture because people will not believe you, right? Your top management will not believe you, right? If they are not believing data. So therefore, you need to build, establish data culture in your organization, right? When you are doing that, like you of course you need to have data governance, right? That is defined structures for data management, right? uh, there has to be a governance. You will have data, but how you are going to govern data, right? It is not that simple also, and you will not should also not use all the information that you have, right? There are policies, right? There are laws which are already there in even in Sri Lanka. Data privacy law is already in existence. Like you have to therefore think about what are the data governance that we need to have in our organization, in your organization, right? Then what is your data strategy? Yeah, align data use with business goals. Like do you have that strategy when you have your uh, corporate strategy? Have you considered data as one of your strategic pillars, right? And have you, incorporated that in your strategy, right? Is very important. If you don't have data strategy, you will not be able to one develop the data culture. Number two, like you will not be able to drive good DDM activities for your brand or a product, right? Then number four is data. Number three is data leadership, right? Cultivates a culture, value data as a key assets. Yeah? Promoting data driven mindset across the organization. So you have to promote that in your organization, right? It is like first you have to promote it within yourself, right? We all are biased. We have a subconscious biasness, like towards our experience, right? Even though you have data, you tend to bias a bit, like towards your experience, right? And you want to do things like taking your gut experience into consideration. So, first and foremost, I think you have to motivate yourself about data, right? Then the organizations, right? Data literacy. This is not about like you are gathering informations, right? You can gather information. If you ask me, most of the organization in Sri Lanka, they do have data warehouses, databases, right? They have different sources of collecting data, right? However, that doesn't mean that you have already fulfilled the data literacy in your organization. No, right? They don't know like how to use data, right? Some of the data like faster become obsolete. Like so if you don't use data like today, maybe 2 days, 3 days old data would not be relevant for you, right? So therefore, that literacy has to be there. Data, how you are going to use data, convert data into informations to insights, right? And when you should do, right? That literacy has to be there. So building that data culture is significant for you to run a DDM, right? So that's the crust of the thing or the message that I wanted to give. Like, if you don't have this data culture in your organization, it's going to be very tough, very difficult for you to convince and drive DDM. Yeah, right. So now, if you, I think I roughly touch upon this, like, when do you need data, right? And how much data you would require, right? So these are two questions that most of the people, most of the marketers are also having some of a bit of a confusion, right? So if you ask me, like, when do you need data? You need data now, real time, right? Yeah. So 2, 3 years old data is again, as I explained, relevant. Yeah, so you should know, you should have data real time now, right? How many of you should know that, today what is your sales revenue, right? And how many customers have come to you? How many new customers have come to you, right? How many old customers have done a repeat purchase, right? What is happening to your loyalty? Mm. So that you should know, right? And how competition is performing, right? Instantly, you should know. How many consumers have come to your website, or how many consumers have seen your message, right? So that you should know real time. So when do you need data? You need data now. How much you need data doesn't matter. As long as like you get what you need, right? Some people say, like, so we don't have data to do DTM, right? And we don't have much data, right? How much, right? Data you would require, like, they are clueless, right? It is not that you have a pool of data warehouses. It's about, like, whether you have right informations, right data set, right? If you are generating it on hourly, daily basis, like, that's more than enough for you to convert, analyze, convert them into insights, and that's enough. But we'll say you have last 10 years of informations, but you don't have today's data. No point. Last 10 years information's data will give you nothing, right? You need today's information, right? So that is the requirement. And that's the changes had happened in the world, in especially in with the digital marketing coming into play. Like, these are the changes already happened. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I just wanted to ask these questions. Like, if you ask me, the company which knows about their customers well, right? Customers' behavior, or the company which do have this real-time informations instantly, right? So there are a few companies that I can name of, right? So the first one is Uber. The company Uber, right? And also Pick Me in Sri Lanka, right? Uber, like, so established about 20 25 years ago, like a very new organization. But there are organizations which are much older, like, 100 more than 100 years old organizations are also there in the world, right? But this particular organization today, if you take uh, the headquarter, right, of the organization, right, in the US, like, if they know at this moment how many Uber riders are in operation at this moment, right? Just click of a button, right? And how many Uber riders, or how many customers, if you take Uber Eats, like, how many stores, how many restaurants are already in operations, right? How many orders are in process? They know instantly, right? And they can instantly get like the value generation their generations, right? And this further analysis can be done like segment wise, restaurant segment wise information. They can zoom into Sri Lanka and see like how many Uber riders are there, how many restaurants are operating, right? How many orders have been taken, right? And also to different level, how many dishes, what sort of dishes are currently being served, right? So that level of informations available with them, right? And instantly, since they know like this information instantly, like they can change their offer it, right? So AI helps them, right? And also machine learning, right? So if there's a potential customer who just came to Uber Eat applications and have not placed an order, right? So they know it. They know it, right? The moment you enter to the application, they know it, right? Then you search certain thing, but still you have not placed the order. They know, right? So they know that that is going. You have the interest, but you something wrong with, and they are so they can send you different contents messages for you to convince and anyhow order from Uber, right? So that level of DDM is happening in certain companies like Uber, right? Even Pick Me to a greater extent in Sri Lanka is doing that, right? And so Super App in Indonesia, right? So it's also another applications and another company which is doing really well using data, right? So there are many more companies. We'll come to that, right? But the message here is like, you need data, you need informations instantly, which is like, for you to, stay ahead of your competition, you need that. Okay, so quickly get into marketing. What is data-driven marketing, right? And so I'll touch upon, few areas, right? Because, so you are going to learn this, right? It's about understanding your customer to deliver the right message at the right time, right? So you have to, you should identify, you should segment your customer groups, right? Even to the smaller segments, like you cannot ignore today, right? So what are those differences? What are those nuances that those customer groups do have? Like need to identify and then target them, send different messages, different contents, or maybe different offerings, right? So that you need to do. So DDM is all about that, all about segmenting, identifying your consumer segment, right? It is like shifting from gut feeling, as I explained, to insights based campaigns, activities, marketing activities, right? No gut feelings, so 100% based on data insight, right? And it is to personalize experiences, right? And also efficient spending is what you are talking about in data driven marketing. And also you should have measurable results, right? So it's very clear, like you have identified your customer segments, and you have personalized your message offerings, so on and so forth, and then you implement it and monitor and get results instantly, is what all about data driven marketing. Yeah, right. So there are a few principles, and what are those principles? One is data collection, gathering relevant data from various sources, right? So you should be able to gather data from various sources, right? Doesn't matter if you don't have many different sources, but we'll say you have few sources, try to gather data, try to gather relevant data, right? And convert them to insights, data analysis and activations. Like, The second principle is you have to, convert or analyze and identify, insights through data. So that is the literacy that you need to build and have in you and your organization, how you are going to identify insights. So this is a gap, like, most of the organization do have to do, like, they have plethora of informations, but still, they can't identify the correct insight because, they don't know how to do it. There is no culture inside. People don't believe it, or you may have not even practiced it, right? So as a result, there is a gap created. So when you have data information, but if you are struggling to convert into insights, it is a pathetic situation, right? Because you have invested in gathering and storing data, but still you have not used them, right? This is a common thing in most organizations, right? Then measurement and optimization, right? You activate your marketing idea, then you have to measure and optimize, right? So there's a uh, good thing here, like, optimization. Measuring is instantly, you should be able to measure, and DDM will help you to measure instantly, but you have to optimize, right? Result, okay, if the results is not as per the expectations, you have to change. You have that flexibility in DDM, change it, and try to optimize as much as possible, right? And you have to identify what are those key metrics that you are going to try, and and track those key metrics, right? Do some of the testing, A/B testing. You would learn those things in your course, right? And refining strategies based on the performance. So as I told, like, what are your performance on daily basis, like, have you achieved your objective today? Where did you go wrong? And then you refine your strategy. Yeah. So that is why I say, like, you should have information instantly. If you don't know, right, that today the sales, what is the sales you're doing today, right? And what are the categories which has not been sold, right? How many customers have come to your website, or come in contact with your product, right? And how many of those customers have converted, right? So those kind of informations you should know, or metrics you should have with you, and then the reasons why, like, no, I was not able to achieve my target for the day. Then the reasons, and you refine your strategies, right? Right. Okay. So you in DDM, like, for most of the companies, categories, even for FMCG, you can, do a customer journey mapping, right? And visualizing the steps customers taken from awareness to purchase, right? We learn about, like, consumer decision making process, right? So there's one step called, information search, right? So good old days, like, so we did not have internet and all the other social media. At least to go and see the reviews of products, we didn't have. But we used to search for informations, like, through paper, and also used to talk to people and get informations. Go to the store and talk to a salesman, right? So that is how you used to get. But so today you get the awareness, or get to know about product, like, instantly, right? Journey starts there, and also go purchase online, offline, anywhere you purchase it, and you do consume and give a review, right? So that's what the consumers are doing. Is a journey, is a, I mean, complete journey which you should know each and every step that a consumer is going through, from the start to the end, right? What is the person's doing, and what are the behavioral changes from the start to the end, right? And then, based on that, when you have so much of information about your consumers, you can do predictive analysis using data to forecast future customer. It is very simple today. Predictive analysis, like, so matter of second, like you will get from your machine learning. There are predictive analytical softwares which will give you some of the predictions, right? So it's that much of convenient for you to do predictive analysis if you have right set of informations, right? And then modeling, determine which market touch points contribute most conversions, right? So identify the bigger touch points that you have, then stress, put more effort on those touch points, right, for you to gain much more return, right? Modeling, very important, this attribution modeling in Facebook, they do it very smartly, they do modeling. Probably you would also would have got experience, when you go search a product in internet, after that you go to, we'll say, Facebook or any other social media, you tend to receive a lot of adverts or contents with regard to the product, or the message or whatever that you search in Google, right? So that is complete modeling, right? And then the analysis, which is recency, frequency, and moderate monetary analysis for your segments, in your so these are some of things that you do during data driven marketing activities. When you do this, which will surely impact positively to your return, right? Ultimately, you should be able to generate more, right, when you are doing DDM than the traditional marketing, right? If you don't generate more, that means something wrong. And you should be able to identify, you should be able to measure things instantly, right? So that's the core of data driven marketing activity. Yeah. Right. So there are some tools you can use, which I'm sure that you are going to learn, right? Data management platforms, right? So there are a lot of data management platforms. These are some of the technical things, probably the that side is not relevant for marketers, but in your organizations, when you are doing this, or maybe when you are dealing with external parties, you would require to have a bit of a knowledge about these DTM tools, right? CRM is something which is very very common. Most of the companies do have CRM systems, and also Salesforce automations, which is, I think, in Sri Lanka now is becoming very important, and especially for most of the FMCG companies, right? And then marketing automations platforms, Marketo and Pardor. So these are some of the automation platforms that we have. And there are some analytical softwares and visualization tools, Google Analytics is one of commonly known, and this analytical platform that we have. And not only that, even Microsoft have introduced a lot of analytical platforms, right? Certain other companies, right? So much of things happening in this area. There are a lot of toolkit. You can definitely have a better understanding and have use for your activities, right? All right. So some of the examples, with that I will conclude, because already I have consumed more than the given time for me, right? So Amazon's recommendation engine, right? This is when you do online shopping with Amazon, they analyze purchase history, browsing behavior, and product ratings, right? Then suggest relevant products to consumers, and increase in average order value and customer satisfactions, right? So this is what one thing they used, right, even to date, and quite successful, and with their recommendations. So this is pretty simple, this is an AI that they use, right? And Facebook ads, right, leverage user demographic interest and online activity, right? So this is more modeling, right? And delivers highly targeted ads, improving click-through rates and conversions, right? So they do it very smartly, right? and which will definitely help you in driving your campaigns through Facebook and other social media. This is one of examples. Okay? And like Netflix content recommendations. I think like Netflix is a company who knows their consumers better than anyone else. Like their interest, right, and their sort of likings and all those things, like Netflix knows, right. The content recommendations, like exactly matches with your liking, right. So how beautiful they do, right. So all in all, what is happening in the world is like you are being watched, you are being recorded somewhere, your behavior is being recorded somewhere, right. And you can't hide things right from someone or something, right. So this is what is happening, right. So so, our consumer or our behaviors, everything stored. So it's becoming more and more connected world. It is already connected now, and so you, as a marketer, what you need to do is you have to use it, right? Build the culture, right? In your organization, build that data culture, right? Which will help you to, of course, improve your decision making, right? And convert data into insights, lead more information, inform marketing strategies, right? When you have right, combinations of things in your organizations, definitely you can, you know, drive effective marketing campaigns and drive more results, right. Okay, so yeah, with that, come to the end, right. So certain things, like I have discussed, shared with you here, you are definitely going to learn in your during your course, right. There will be I think, like more deep understanding given to each one of you. I think one person who Mahesh, yes, okay, Mahesh, yes, your hands is up. You have any question, anything to clarify? Right, okay, so with that, I conclude my session. So you will learn something, right? And thank you very much for listening. Over to you, Chandra.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Shalika Alapon. I hope there have been a lot of insights and information to process ahead of this session, this DDMP webinar and the inauguration. Mr. Daminta Edrisinghe is a distinguished chartered marketer and chartered engineer with over 15 years of telecommunications industry experience. It's a good to see you here, sir, and warmly welcome Mr. Daminta Edrisinghe for the senior lecturer's speech. Yes,
So,
sir. Yes.
thanks. So basically, I'm one of the lecturer in the lecturer panel for this DDMP course. And first of all, I will take you through the content that we are going to cover from the program. Before that, I would say this is kind of a transformational program that you are going to participate. I'll tell you why once I conclude the course content part. Okay, right. So there will be 11 modules. The first module is about the introduction, about data. At the very first lecture, you will learn about the data in depth. You will learn data types, data sources, the importance of having proper data, and how you're going to make sure that your data is accurate enough for analysis, so on and so forth. Okay, and then you will learn about the fundamentals of data and analytics. Basically, there are as Mr. Salka mentioned, like there are predictive analytics, descriptive analytics, dynastic analytics, prescriptive analytics. Those things will be learned by you. And big data analytics. You will learn about big data and the applications and use cases, case studies, so and so. And then marketing process and data collection side, data management platform and different types of data like first party data, second party data, third party data, and the applications with relevance related to the different platforms like DMPs, CDPs. We will learn those things, right? So there are a lot of good stuff there. And then marketing automation also will be discussed. And then, of course, we will learn about artificial intelligence and the applicability into marketing, into business, right? We will learn about the fundamentals of AI and business processes, AI application for business process management, machine learning, and what is machine learning, how machine learning differ from artificial intelligence, and developments of bots for business improvement. Now, in the today's world, bots is a kind of replacing a lot of customer care agents jobs. You will learn how bots are being taken care, the marketing functions as well, and future of AI as well. And module 5, consumer-centric marketing activities, consumer behavior from a per data perspective, introduction to consumer behavior analysis, big data, marketing automation through the consumer journey, and different stages of consumer journey will be discussed and how you are going to apply data at each of these stages, so and so. And module 6, BI, business intelligence, will be discussed and together with data visualization. Here you will get hands-on experience with Microsoft BI, how you're going to use Power BI. Power BI is a Microsoft tool used to do data visualization. You will get the hands-on experience from your laptops, desktops. You can do your own visualization activities with this module. And then of course, agile marketing and importance of agile marketing. This new concept, very important. Why you should practice as of now. Most of the market organization are not practicing this. They don't practice this agile marketing, but organizations like Amazon, Netflix, those organizations have their own agile marketing practices. So we will discuss this in detail. And of course, data-driven creative advertising, the application side, how we're going to use data for creative advertising. So we think that data is a killer for creativity. It's not actually. It's enable you to be more creative. That's the beauty of this course. You will learn those stuff as well. And data-driven conversion optimization, and of course IoT, because as you know now these days most of the marketers are working with engineers closely. If you compare the situation like 10 years ago, like 10 years ago, you hardly work with engineers for marketing activities. But today, you are working with engineers, IT professionals very closely. And IoT also another technology that has an impact, positive impact towards the marketing. So you just need to learn this stuff, right? And as the last module, you will learn blockchain technology as well. Right. So at the very first, I told you that this is more than digital marketing. This is a course, this is a program that is going to transform you. Right. So this is more than digital marketing. As I covered the course and content at high level, you have seen that we are talking about different technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, so on and so forth. Right. So then I am going to ask the question from you, why you should learn this stuff? What's the reason behind? Let me tell you the reason. What is the revolution are we in now? What is the revolution? What is the car industry revolution? We call Karmika Viplava, right? So industry revolution 1.0 is all about this steam engine and all, right? And 2 is around electricity. 3 is about this IT, computer, internet, right? Now we are in the industry 4.0. That is the revolution we are in. When this revolution was started, this revolution was started in 2011, like some time back. But as a country, still we are bit lack because some of these digital technologies we are talking in Industry 4.0, like here convergence, IT, OT, autonomous machine, advanced robotics, big data, analytics, Internet of Things, the digital ubiquity, cloud, smart factory, machine learning, AI. Those some of the things are not being used in many organizations in Sri Lanka. There are good organizations they are using, but not all. Um, so we are in this revolution. So if you are going to stay with this revolution, we should learn these technologies. As marketers, these technologies are relevant today to our profession. So you need to learn, you need to know at least. You don't need to know like engineer, but as a marketer, you need to talk to engineers, work with the engineers. You need to get the job done from the engineers and IT guys, so that you need to learn this stuff. That's the importance, right? So you will be transformed. You will be transformed to work in Industry 4.0. That is the one of the key advantage you will have from this program. Okay. And so what is Industry 4.0? Um, I will take one example, Tesla car. Tesla car is the one example which has gone through all the four stages in Industry 4.0. So you know this Tesla car, the recent one also, even it doesn't have a this steering wheel as well. But Tesla car is a driverless autonomous car, right? You can drive it without with automation technology. I mean, you don't need to drive it, right? So so what actually has happened there? That particular car has gone through all these stages. What are these stages? Stage one is what is happening, right? What is happening is it collect all the data, connect together sensing, monitoring, all the data, the environmental data, past data, and based on data, it take decisions. It has so many sensors inside the car, right? Motion sensor, proximity sensors, many sensors are equipped inside the car, right? Like a human, it sends everything outside, and from sensoring, it collect all the data, and from data, it make decisions, right? Then this car think why it is happening. For example, the road lights change, right? Then why is it happening? Then what will happen? Will this passenger cross the road? Will this car collide me? Likewise, it predict what will happen, right? So that is called stage three, prepare, right? And then finally, it's autonomous actions, right? Then it make decisions, and automation has happened. So this is the transformation has gone through in the in your industry 4.0, right? It is a car, right? I was talking about a car manufactured by Tesla. So the same thing happening in your discipline as well, in your profession as well. It means marketing also going through these stages. You should learn how this transformation happening. So that's why I told you this will transform you to think with data-driven mindset. In order to do the data-driven marketing, you will be transformed to have a data-driven mindset. Okay, so this is Industry 4.0. But I will discuss this slide again at the lecture for you to understand in detail. Right? I hope you have understood to some extent the importance of it. And the driving forces of Industry 4.0 is big data collections like sensors from IoT and all, and real time. Mr. Salik also talked about real time, the importance of having real time data, and mobile computing, connected devices, system networks, societies, software, uh, agile practices in software development, and the impact of agile practices into marketing, cloud computing. Likewise, these are the driving forces of this Industry 4.0. So now you know that, right? So many when there's a revolution comes, a lot of jobs get obsolete. Likewise, today as well, even today, most of the jobs are getting obsolete because of the revolution. As you know, now ChatGPT is start to come up with different versions of AI engines. So because of that, a lot of jobs are getting obsolete, right? But at the same time, the beauty is that it's emerging new opportunities to you, which I discuss in the coming slide, right? Here, that new opportunities, in order to grab those new opportunities, you need to equip with the right knowledge, right? So this is the program that you can grab, capture, learn that knowledge. So that's the importance of having this kind of a program into your to the knowledge base. So this is basically, I think Mr. Salik has discussed most of these points like personalization, cost efficiency, customer focus, innovation, right? Most of these already we discussed in the previous speech. Here, what I want to highlight here is the green color one, the competitive edge you will have in your organization. Being a marketer, not everyone's are today. Most of the marketers do not know the technical jargons, data warehouse, data lake, IoT, blockchain. But after you complete this course, you will learn this stuff. This is more than digital marketing. You can get a digital marketing qualification very easy, even from Slim, right? But here it is more than that, because this knowledge will help you to differentiate yourself inside your department, inside your organization, because you know what engineers are doing, what IT guys are doing, what is happening in the organization, what this organization lacks. Mr. Salih told about the culture and how you are going to make an impact to the culture. That kind of things you can do inside your organization, even in your own company if you are having a business, right? So that's the competitive edge you will have compared to your uh, the others, right? And because of that, you will get more career advancement opportunities because you are differentiated among others, right? And not only in local context, but in global context, there are many opportunities are emerging because of this Industry 4.0 revolution, especially in the marketing field. The marketing fraternity is growing, and networks, they are looking marketers who are tech savvy marketers who know technology, not only marketing, but also technology. They want to work with those professionals. So it will create more opportunities for you to go to the global or to the world as well. So that's the beauty of this program. I hope you have understood the weight and the depth of the course. Um, so I hope you will have a wonderful time with the program, and we'll see you in person at the very first lecture. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dharmendra Singh. So now, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, for the program brief, warmly invite the executive at Slim Business School, Ms. Modita Kandambi.
Thank you, Dasun. Thank you, Dasun. Hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, Modita.
Okay. Good evening, you all. I warmly welcome you all again for the inauguration of DDMP 124 intake. I'm Mudita Kannambi, the program coordinator of DDMP program. Here onwards, I would like to take you through some important details of the DDMP qualification. DDMP program is designed to provide knowledge on essential data-driven marketing concepts, providing skills to evaluate and identify the best practices and emerging concepts in data-driven marketing. The students are requested to provide a scanned copy of the NIC, a photograph, and scanned copies of your education qualifications and service letters to complete the registration. And the students are requested to submit these documents to our LMS or the learning management system, and we will provide a detailed guideline on this in due course. Coaching sessions will be blended method within both online as on-site. Online sessions will be conducted through MS Teams and on-site sessions will be at Slim Business School, number 50, Kitulwatta Road, Colombo 8. You all will be informed regarding each session delivery mode along the class schedule in the class commencement. And all the students are advised to follow the schedule accordingly. Further, the attendance of the classes will be monitored. Hence, all the students are requested to attend for the classes regularly. This is the class schedule for the DDMP 124 intake, and this will be shared with all the students. The communications. The communications related to the DDMP qualifications will be done via online email. Mostly we will contact over the phone and in SMS as well as Indeed. Hence, all the students are informed to provide a correct email address and a contact number of the registration. Not only that, you are requested to check your inbox on a regular basis. As the students for inquiry related to the DDMP qualification, you can contact me through the email over the phone ddmp@slim.edu.lk is the email address which you need to contact. Additionally, my contact number is 070-366-2177. Once again, 070-366-2177. Further, for any concerns during your study period at SLIM, you can contact SLIM Manager, Mr. Sadeep Abhinayaka, as well as the Assistant Manager via the given details. If I explain briefly about the curriculum of the DDMP program, it will cover over 11 different modules in the program. And if I name them, Introduction to Data-Driven Mindset, Fundamentals of Data Analytics, Marketing Process and Data Collection, Artificial Intelligence AI for Business, Consumer-Centric Marketing Activities, Business Intelligence and Data Visualizers, Agile Marketing Mix, Data-Driven Creative Advertising, Data-Driven Conversion Optimization, IoT Adaptation for Business, Introduction to Blockchain Technology. The assessment criteria of the qualification will be done within 2 ways. You will have to do the group presentation, basically on a case study which covers 40% of marks from the final. At the completion of the 11th module, you will have to sit for the final exam, which is on online MCQ test. Further, it will cover 60% of your final mark. Then, you will be awarded in the final grading according to the marks that you have obtained both in assignment and in the final examination. If you obtain 75 marks or above, you are awarded with a merit pass. If you score between 65 to 74, a good pass. 40 marks to 64 marks, you will be an ordinary pass. As another prestigious service, SLIM Library is now open for all the students. You may use the library facility for your study purposes. As shown here, the library is open from Monday to Thursday from 9:30 to 4:30 p.m. and in the weekends from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The library will be remain closed on Friday, holidays, and on other special holidays. Finally, this brings you the end of the program brief of the DDMP qualification. And I wish you all the best in successfully completing the DDMP qualification. If you have any more concerns regarding this program, you can contact me. I'm Mudita Kandambi from other onwards via given contact numbers. It's over to you, Oshada. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mudita Kandambi. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, I hope that time gave us the opportunity to learn the values of becoming a data-driven marketers in a competitive market environment, competitive marketplace. Mr. Manda Pereira, Mr. Salika Alahakon, Mr. Daminda Edirisinghe, Ms. Mudita Kandambi. Of course, dear students, it's a great pleasure to join Slim DDMP webinar and inauguration. Have a great day.